I'm here in Woketown, USA, to ask people why they think there's a higher level of obesity in the black community.
Everything has to do with racism.
Racism.
I would call it institutional racism.
Eating could be a coping mechanism.
For racism?
Yeah, if they feel bad.
It's like depression based, so maybe the stress of racism maybe does contribute.
And black people deal with racism every day, and that leads to bad food choices.
Oh God, absolutely.
Okay, so you'll notice that all the white people are like, yes, the black people are eating bad food because the black people are experiencing racism in American society. Now, if you ask them why white people are very fat, because there are a lot of fat white people, they would say it's personal choice, right? It's all the white people who are eating bad stuff because they're dumb hicks. Right? These are all upper class white liberals. So they'd be saying, oh, the only fat people that I know are those hicks from the sticks. So probably it's because they're stupid and making bad food choices because they're white. But if it's people of color, then it's, well, it must be not that they are making personal choices that impact their diet. It must be because of widespread institutional racism. I wonder if black people feel the same way as white people. I have a feeling the answer is no. Just as upper class white liberals think that police are the worst thing for black communities, and black people are like, nah, we kind of need the cops. I have a feeling that if Ami asks a bunch of black people the same question, their answers are not going to resemble the answers given by these upper crust white liberals.
Education is a factor as well, which also ties into racism.
They're not being educated as to what is good to eat, what is not good to eat.
Yeah.
Oh, they're ignorant. They're ignorant. And that's it. Yeah. So this lady thinks that it's because black people are stupid or something. It's not racist, though, when she says that they're too stupid to eat healthy food. That's not racist. She's anti-racist, probably.
Then you're not going to be able to choose the right things for you, especially if you don't know about them, too. There's a lot more in-depth stuff that predominantly, like, a lot of white people are more in tune with.
I don't know how to be healthy.
See, I got some weed I'm trying to roll up. You stopped me at a bad time.
No problem. If you say individual responsibility, is that coming from a white privilege and white supremacy?
100%, yeah.
They don't have any access to good food.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is, so it's all these white people. They don't have any access to good food. And meanwhile, that lady's going to go trot over to Whole Foods. The baseline notion here that black people don't know what is healthy is kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy and it's kind of racist. Like, I have small children and even they know what is healthy to eat and what is not healthy to eat. And I'm pretty sure that black people know what is healthy to eat and what is not healthy to eat.
Yeah, like, there's more McDonald's, there's all their supermarkets, it's all like Doritos and everything, et cetera, et cetera.
Do you think it's possible that corporate America was looking to destroy the black community and therefore put a lot of this stuff in there?
I think definitely under some administrations for sure.
Okay, so under some administrations, I love that. Trump probably put the McDonald's in the black community. So here's the problem. They've tried to put things like Whole Foods in black communities, and it turns out that the market just doesn't exist for it. A lot of people just don't want to buy stuff from there. It is true that healthy food is sometimes more expensive than unhealthy food, but it depends on the kind of healthy food that you're talking about. Right? Manufactured garbage, stuff that is just like heavily greased up French fries and a burger, that could be pretty cheap. But the truth is that a can of peas is also pretty cheap. Okay, so you can find healthy food at a low price. The notion that it is just a price differential that explains all of this is not true. There's a lot of personal decision-making that is happening right here. And if you think that Whole Foods would avoid being in a black area if there are a lot of people who wanted to buy organic kale from Whole Foods, no, corporations are pretty profit-driven.
In the black community because of racism?
I think it's because of probably what they eat.
I mean, the way we eat.
I have a choice.
I just think people need to watch their eating habits.
It's also down to, the individual in the household and what they learn from the family around them and what they see around them as well. It's like saying we don't know what we're doing half the time when we're making the choices we make. In many instances, knowing the consequences in the long run.
Okay, by the way, this guy for president right here. In fact, all of these people for president. All the people that Ami is talking to who are like, yeah, you got to make good individual choices if you don't want to be fat. This is why upper crust white progressives cannot run the country. They are terrible for the country. They are terrible for black people. They are terrible for white people. They are terrible for everything.
People eat food and they like different food. Some people like being on a diet. Some people like running. Some people don't. Individual choices.
They said to me that saying that about black people is racist.
It's like saying black people don't have free will.
Black people don't have agency.
Exactly. That's just
Isn't
nonsense.
That racist?
That's a little bit to me, yes. It's very weird to hear to me personally.
Yeah, that guy. That guy's great. I'm a fan. Slot open to Daily Wire for that guy whenever he wants it.
They deal with racism so often in the day that they stress eat.
What?
Does that not sound right to you?
They're misinformed.
I love the reaction. It's all these white people like, black people are so stressed, they just have to sit home and eat Cheetos because they're so stressed. And Slade's like, what are you talking about? What? Huh? Yeah. The wokes, man. No one likes them.
Now, if they put a big hamburger place and you keep going to it and you gaining weight, they didn't make you go in there. That's what I'm looking at.
Whose fault is that?
That's the person that's going in there. Are you blaming this guy that opening his business?
I'm fat. America's fat. What you want?
Did you carry it well?
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I like that lady. She's like, yeah, I'm just going to own it. You know what? My decisions are my own. I like how I look. Deal. Good for her.
I took ownership of my weight and my weight gain. So you have to take ownership of your own health, your own weight.
Y'all doing some good stuff in Harlem, you feel me?
Not a race issue.
No, it's not. No, there's plenty of fat everywhere.
So again, you'll notice that for the wokes, they're not solutions oriented. Nothing they do makes anybody's life better. Shouting about how Whole Foods is racist and how about corporations, because of Trump, are locating in black areas, that's helping no one. You know what helps people? Telling them that they ought to get control over their own weight. It is hard to think of anything that is more personal to you than your eating habits. You literally make that decision multiple times a day. I make that decision too. I try to keep myself in good shape. I work out a lot, but I'm disappointed in myself sometimes because I make bad dietary choices. I mean, literally yesterday, I started off the day, I had a coffee, I had like one egg, and I was like, I'm doing great. And then lunch came, I went out to lunch with my wife and just blew it out with the carbs. That's my fault. Okay, and that's true for everyone. There is no more personal decision over which you have more choice in the United States than the kind of food that you eat. And trying to blame it on systemic racism or systemic poverty is really, really dumb. You do have to ask the question as to why white woke progressives think that they can speak for black people this way. And the answer really does go to something that Shelby Steele talked about a long time ago, which is that white progressives want to maintain control of the conversation. It's really about power for them. If they get to say that racism, not my racism, systemic racism, everybody else's racism is the problem, and then they can say that black people have no responsibility inside the system, then it is not up to black people to fix their lives, and it's not even up to black people to fix the system. It's up to white woke liberals to fix the system. So they get to maintain the power by dissociating from all of these white institutions and then correcting them from the outside. So all these people are really claiming power. It's not about them being humble about their own race or about their impact on the world. It is about them dissociating from all these other bad institutions, demonstrating their own moral credit and credibility